It's for a good cause, I swear. By Sarah1281. Chapter 18. The Obligatory Training. I should get going, Sakura said. If Tsunade-sensei is even remotely as scary as I remember, I do not want to be late. I think you're overreacting, Kakashi told her. After all, with all her concern about not appearing her to age, her reaction to Naruto christening her Bachan was relatively mild. In fact, I think you actually reacted harsher to Naruto being an idiot or insulting Sasuke, and that was before you went training under her. Yeah, Sakura acknowledged, but the MSR wasn't put into play until after Tsunade-sensei made Jonin. Kakashi shuddered at the possible implications. Bye, Sakura-chan! Naruto said as he also set off towards where he was to meet his teacher. Unlike Sakura, however, he knew Jiraiya wouldn't care if he was late and might not even notice, depending on whether or not he was feeling inspired. He really hoped that they were supposed to be training by the onset again, as if that was the case, Jiraiya would want the chance to let loose his, well, not really inner, but sometimes thinly disguised pervert, and if nothing else, the first day wouldn't be the one with a lot of downtime. Why are you following me? Naruto asked without bothering to turn around. Kakashi shrugged. I've got nothing better to do. Because you can't be bothered to teach your students anything, Naruto accused. Is it really my fault? All of my students already know the basic skills they need to have to become Chunin because they're time travelers? Kakashi asked rhetorically. Naruto did stop then so he could turn around and give Kakashi an incredulous look. Okay, so maybe it is, Kakashi conceded. But since, as you so graciously pointed out, I'm not doing much in terms of your training this month, I should probably meet up with your father to see what he wants me to do about Orochimaru's escape, and make sure everyone's convinced that the Akatsuki are involved, because aside from Jiraiya, I'm really the only adult who would have any way of knowing about Tobi's connection to them. That's disturbingly responsible of you, Naruto noted. But then I guess the prospect of a mass Akatsuki invasion is serious enough to warrant that. Indeed it is, Kakashi agreed. That still doesn't explain why you're following me, though, Naruto pointed out. If there's any chance you're getting the summoning today, and as such are obligated to get completely wasted, your father's going to be there, Kakashi pointed out. So, by following you, I can see him. You know, speaking of my father, Naruto said slowly, he's supposed to be the super awesome ninja, right? I mean, I've never really seen him in action, but his reputation precedes him. I should think you haven't, Kakashi exclaimed. As one of the few responsible adults in the ninja world, he would have killed anyone that was supposed to be watching you who let you anywhere near a situation that required him to use his skills. That sucks, Naruto huffed. I mean, I suppose I can appreciate the sentiment, but still. Were you going somewhere with this? Kakashi wondered. Naruto looked puzzled. What? Oh, right! If my father's so amazing that his entry in the bingo book says to flee on sight, why in the world would Suna, or anyone for that matter, agree to attack the village he's Kage of? Your father's Hiraishin no Jutsu is much more effective with an ally. So if they can isolate him like Orochimaru did with the Sandame and the barrier, they would stand a much better chance of an actual fight. And if Akatsuki managed to control or replace the Kazekage, Suna is going to invade regardless of how stupid and suicidal they might think it is. Remember the rather unfortunate tendency most ninja have of seeing themselves as tools to be used? Kakashi asked. True! Naruto nodded. When did you get out of that mindset? Kakashi shrugged. Well, it started when I decided my team was more important than a mission, back before you were even born, and culminated when I went back in time, and have spent 12 or 13 years as a close personal friend of the Hokage. That would do it, I guess! Hey look, it's Team 8! Greetings, Hinata, Shino, Karene! Naruto called out, waving. Aren't you forgetting someone? Hinata asked quietly. Oh, right! Naruto realized. Hiya, Kamaru! Like they're no see! Shame my, you idiot! Kiba grumbled. Oh, it's the Yaoi fanboy! Naruto said, making a face. I am not a fanboy, Kiba insisted. You two are just so not subtle. What are you guys doing? Naruto asked, ignoring that. Hinata and I are helping Shino and Kiba prepare for the finals, Kurenai answered. Really? But don't them run the risk of fighting against each other? Kakashi asked. That's why most teams that have more than one member find different instructors for the Genin that would benefit less from their personal instructions. I'll make them find their own, Naruto muttered. You and Sasuke came with built-in teachers, and I offered a Bisu for Sakura, but she made other arrangements, Kakashi reminded him. Due to the nature of this tournament, Kiba being number 9 and me being number 1, we would not face each other until the finals, and the odds of both of us making it to the final round is very small. Additionally, I would be fighting 2 matches before, and he 3, so it is not like any techniques would remain a secret, and as teammates, we already know each other's fighting style, Shino explained. Naruto just stood there, gaping. Are you alright, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, sounding concerned. Yeah, I just have never heard Shino say that much before, Naruto confessed. Ever! I know Naruto, since I'm fighting your secret boyfriend, do you have any tips for me? Kiba asked. He is not my secret boyfriend! Naruto cried. Well, you've yet to come out to me, Kiba replied. So, do you? Despite the fact I want Sasuke to win, I suppose I can warn you not to do anything to trigger his revenge impulse, as that's partly for my sake as well, Naruto told him. Kiba groaned. Too late for that. Although, in my defense, our siblings are dating. That's such a wonderful opportunity to annoy him. He didn't sound nearly as concerned as Naruto thought he should be, but if Naruto managed to keep Sasuke a Genin by exposing his revenge impulses, Sasuke would very likely kill him, so he let it go. Well then, you're not going to have a fun match! Naruto turned to the other member of Team 8 that was in the finals. And Shino, I know you didn't ask, but in the interest of fairness, Gara said that he's going to try not to kill anyone, so he has a better chance of making Chunin. But don't push your luck! Shino nodded his gratitude. That sounds like sound advice. That was very thoughtful, Naruto-kun, Hinata told him, smiling. Naruto shrugged. Yeah, well, we should let you get back to your training. After Sakura had arrived, she found out that Tsunade was in the middle of a surgery, so Shizune had given Sakura a very thorough examination on the basics. She could tell that she impressed the dark-haired girl, and afterwards, she was quickly shown to the slug Sannin. Before we begin, Tsunade said, do you have any idea what you want to specialize in? We don't have time to make you an expert in what you choose to do, but keeping in mind how you'd like to utilize your strengths. Keeping in mind how you'd like to utilize your skills is always a smart move. Not really, Sakura confessed. Do you have any suggestions? Not without seeing you in action, no, Tsunade said, shaking her head. Some Medicnin focus on medical ninjutsu that can be used to kill through the creation of deadly poisons, or by using your extensive knowledge of the human anatomy to deliver powerful blows to sensitive locations. I myself have a reputation for being able to cure any illness that comes my way. I heard from Sasuke that you managed to make the Migyankyo Sharingan safe for him to use, Sakura said, sounding a little odd, despite herself. Tsunade nodded, and Sakura could see a glimmer of pride in her eyes. Took me the better part of 2 years to do, but I managed it. So what are we going to start with? Sakura asked eagerly. You have the basics mastered, which means we won't have to waste time covering those. Instead, we can work on making sure that you're going to be able to stay conscious and uninjured long enough to make use of them, Tsunade informed her innocently. Sakura knew better, though, and her eyes widened in horror. You mean... Tsunade nodded. That's right, she said gleefully. We're going to work on your taijutsu, which means that for the next few days, you're going to be my own personal punching bag. Sakura groaned. It probably still wouldn't be enough to beat Neji. I've heard that you've done extensive work on taijutsu with Kakashi these past few months, Itachi started off by saying. Of course, I'd still like to see that for myself, to see how much progress you've made. Your speed in particular is very important. But first, do you still have any questions about the Migenkyo Sharingan, or do you think you have that down? I have a question about the Tsukiyomi, Sasuke said. I know it is one of, if not the most powerful genjutsu in existence, but what can it do? When I was using it on Orochimaru, I trapped him in a looped memory of Ino and Sakura dragging me with them when they went shopping. Itachi raised an eyebrow. That was what you did? He was comatose for nearly a week. Sasuke shrugged. It certainly traumatized me. It will only get worse when you get older, Itachi promised him. Fortunately, Hana's not very interested in shopping. Bucky, Sasuke muttered. To answer your question, the Tsukiyomi can serve as anything, really, as it traps the target in an illusionary world that is completely controlled by the user. While it only takes a few seconds for the user to complete, for the target it can seem like days. I've found that either torture the target or make them relive a traumatic event over and over for what seems like days is highly effective, Itachi told him. So it doesn't even have to be used as torture, Sasuke mused. I suppose not, Itachi agreed. But it's still a powerful and chakra-draining technique that, unless you needed to quickly incapacitate your target or wanted to traumatize them, it isn't worth using. Anything else you might want to do with it, there are probably less powerful genjutsu for. Does it really matter what you use to traumatize them? Sasuke asked. Because, say, if I felt the need to go after my teammates, I could show them a world where everyone was eating ramen, but they couldn't have any, or take them back to their fangirl days, respectively. Or if it were Kakashi or Obito, I could just overrun them with squirrels, as that seems to remind them of some sort of traumatizing mission they had in the past. If you knew enough about them, you could certainly do that, Itachi nodded. Although, if they are your opponent, you probably won't get the chance to learn that much about them. He paused. And one of these days, we have to get that story from them.
Okay, I want you to show me what you can do, and then if you've improved enough, at the end of the month, I'll show you how to do the racing gun, Jiraiya promised, even though your dad would probably kill me.
Ah, well, I have a month to dog him around.
Actually, arrow sitting! I already know how to do that!
Naruto told him. Jiraiya's eyes widened.
What? How? Your father's way too overprotective to teach you himself, or let you anywhere near me anytime I might have been drunk enough to try and not remember doing so afterwards.
Kakashi showed me how!
Naruto lied. Jiraiya's eyes widened even further.
But Kakashi can't do it.
Naruto shrugged.
You still know how to teach it to me?
Prove it,
Jiraiya demanded.
Okay!
Naruto said, forming his wind-release racing gun. He quickly threw it at a nearby tree. Hey, watch it! Kakashi, who was talking with Minato not 5 feet away from said tree, said,
Sorry, I can't hold on to it for too long because it cuts my hand!
Naruto said, What? Minato demanded, How did my son learn the racing gun and modify it? I mean, I've made some adjustments over the years, but never in front of him, and none that were self-injuring.
I heal fast! See?
Naruto held up his hand to show the already healing cuts. My bad, Kakashi said, making sure to back away quickly. But hey, I only described the basic racing gun you showed me all those years ago. The size and inclusion of his wind affinity was all on him. Minato shook his head. You know, the other Jonin instructors teach their kids how to use their clan abilities or control their chakra. Oh, I taught them plenty of chakra exercises, didn't I, Naruto? Kakashi asked, grinning evilly. Naruto nodded quickly. More than enough! Still, you're kind of a bizarre teacher, Minato said. I had to have gotten it from somewhere, Kakashi said, pointedly. I mean Jiraiya-sensei, Minato said quickly. He's a bad influence.
And not to cement your opinion of me as a terrible influence, if that kid's got the racing gun down so well, he not only saw room for improvement, but actually did manage to improve it. Is ready to decide to throw somebody's girl. Jiraiya spoke up. How about the sake? Kakashi announced, taking out a summoning scroll and activating it. Minato shook his head ruefully. I can't believe I'm allowing this. I must be the worst parent ever. Naruto snorted.
Not even close, Dad!